Hi everybody, this is Roxy and I have a Michael's clearance haul. Well, actually it's not clearance per se. They call it promotional value, and that's all these items. These were kind of the gift items. There's a kiosk that has these and the Timmery stuff. And I saw Cherished Memories had a video on, she called it clearance, but I found out while it was ringing up that they call it promotional value. And I went last Sunday when they had I didn't know they were going to have a 20% off coupon at 3 o'clock, and of course I was getting rung up at 2:40. And she said, well, and then my app wasn't coming up, and she goes, well, I can just give you the 40% off one, but I can't give you the 20% off. I go, what's the 20% off? And then she said, well, at 3 o'clock, you're going to have blah, blah, blah. And when I had gotten there, I noticed that nothing was on sale. There were no signs out about any kind of sales, 50% off, whatever, 40% off. And this stuff on this kiosk, according to Cherished Memories, was 70% off, and they had signage. So then I said, well, can you make sure, I had to go and price check everything to make sure that everything I got. Because I noticed she had said the boho stuff was clearanced, or actually 70% off. And so I thought I better check the price on that. So when I got up to the register and she said that, I said, well, can you double check all the prices, because none of this had signs. But I thought it was supposed to be 70% off. And she did the price, and she goes, well, yeah, those are promotional values. Now, I also had a little bag of Muslim bags from what used to be the dollar bins, then it became the $1.50 bins. Now it's the $2 to $5 bins, and that is called Everyday something. I can't remember what she said. So, long story short, she rang up all my stuff, and this is actually 2 trips, and I will tell you why. Because I was buying the bags I've got some lavender. I was going to stamp on them and put the lavender in it, sell them on a craft show. They were $5 for 12 bags, and I thought, well, I'll just do 12 bags. I know I could get them cheaper, like on eBay or Etsy or whatever, but I thought I just want to do it, if I can get the 40% off coupon, that'll be great. Well, it wouldn't ring up. I didn't know this until I got home, that the 40% off coupon came off a $1 pack of pencils that I bought. And so I was kind of like, oh, dang it, why didn't it go off the $5? Because I thought that it would go off the highest price, non-discount price. So I called and talked to a manager, and she said, no, the Muslim bags, and that's who explained that everything in those bins are essential something or others. So you can't use a coupon on that. You can't use a coupon on this essentials or everyday promotional, whatever they're all called. And you can't use them on clearance. Well, I knew about clearance, but this is new to me, and she said it was within the last 6 months that they've done that. I don't know. I haven't been there for about 6 months, actually. So that's when I realized they pulled all the signs off for this 20% off coupon. So they're playing games with their coupons again. They never were that bad, but now they are. There's a lot of, like, Kohl's does it. We have a store up here called Herberger's. It's kind of a Midwestern chain, Herberger's. What's the other one? Yonkers. I think there may be out east too. I don't know. Anyways, we quit shopping there because it's just such a hassle. You get all these coupons, you go in there, and it's like, oh, well, it's, you can pick these 3 things, and they'll be on sale. Or you can use a coupon on it. So that kind of miffed me, and I thought, you know what? I was having to go to Sam's last week anyway, which is near this Michael's. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to return those Muslim bags, because I'm in no rush to do the project. I just saw them and thought, oh, cool. And so I returned them. But what I did, I went back to the boho area and got another bunch of stuff. So This is what I got the first time. Okay, so this rung up at, I think it was $1.49. $1.49. So I bought 2 of them. I wish it just had decoration. You could cut them like Lyric Lover, because I did get pencils. She says her pencil packs and stuff are the hot seller at her craft sales, and I'm always in for a hot seller. And it's kind of the, you know how they used to call it wash and set, like a hairstylist. Their Saturday wash and set gals come in. This is from the old days, and that was like their best money maker, because it was an inexpensive wash their hair, set it, and but you know, you had continual business from it. So that's kind of what those pencil things are, I think. They're easy to make, and people are going to be drawn to them, and they're inexpensive, and they'll hopefully grab a bunch. So I got those. These are just for me, for my desk. But then they had these, and I bought, they happen to have my initials left. But I was thinking what my bestseller is, or one of my bestsellers, are taking note cards like this and kind of repurposing them or redecorating them a little bit, and then putting them in packs and putting them in a really cute, those bag toppers that I make. Those are like flying off the shelves. So I thought for these, I could just cut out like a circle and then put a stamp on it like hello, thank you, how are you, where have you been, why does Michael's try to trick us, on those. So that's what I got those for. And then these are the dollar pencil packs. That's a pretty good deal. They're really cute. There's some unicorns. And then some rainbows and fluffy clouds. Cupcakes and sprinkles. So these, I can easily find erasers at Dollar Tree this year. Watch, there'll never be any. Donuts and more sprinkles. And so these were not part of it. But these pencils were part of this line. I don't even know what this line is called. It has a name. Oh, it just says monogram. So these were 89 cents. And I thought, this I price checked. And that's a little eraser down there. So I thought I'd repackage these a la Lyric Lover. And I just bought all they had of these and all they had of the note cards. So I can put this together with the note cards. You know, have a nice little set. Then I bought this. They had a few different ones, but I like these the best. And these I'll either use, or I don't know if I'll repurpose them or not. I probably will just use them. Laura from the Robin Laura show, she did the most amazing, cutest little trick with note cards. She cut it about here and then glued the bottom part down like that so you could put a tag in it, and then glued this down flat and made the most adorable little pocket tags, or tag pockets for them. So that could be an option. And then I can just sell those as little pockets. And these were $2.99. So that's a little bit pricey for those. Oh, I forgot. The note cards were $1.49. So that'll be a good turnaround on investment. Okay, and then this adorable cup was with the trim. They had a couple other ones, but I like this one the bestest. I already had to use it. It's so darn cute. I love just the polka dots alone would be cute. Isn't that cute? $2.09. I love it. It is adorable. So there's that. And then, you know, and I can't figure out what their game is by taking off the 70% signs. Because the boho didn't have it that day either when they had the 20% off coupon. I don't get what they're doing. I mean, I don't know. You'd think they'd leave it on there. Because then if people had a 20% off coupon, they'd go, oh, I could get 90% off this. So they'll grab all this stuff, bring it up to the register, and it's like, sorry, can't use it on that. And then by the time you're up there, you're like, well, I've already invested in it. I'm already in love with it. I've already decided it's mine. So I'll just get it anyway. So it's kind of weird. I just can't figure it out. Alright, so then when I went back, instead of going right over to the register to get rid of those bags, I had to go down to the boho section. Ooh, I forgot. On my last this trip, I also bought these. These were... Where's my receipt? Oh. These ran like $1.79. Okay, the tree, for some reason, the tree is $2.39. Oh no, they are. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay. All right, the tree is $2.39. Round is, oh, the owl's $2.39, and that one's $2.99, which is kind of weird. But I also forgot because I've been like playing with all this stuff already. All right, so I also got these ombre ink pads, and I've used them. They're almost too juicy because they're kind of a little messy, but they do work really nice. What did I use them with? Oh yeah, the little oh okay, I don't have it handy. So anyways, but they are almost too juicy. See how they're not supposed to spread like that, but I just figured, you know, these were like $1.79, and they are kind of pretty. They'd be pretty for stamping sentiments and stuff. That's not spreading as badly, but kind of. And I thought of taking them back, and I'm like, ah, that's still good. But see, when you separate the pads like that, it shouldn't spread. In fact, even if you had like the Tim Holtz felt pads that you can make your own stamps out of, or your own ink stamps out of, once you put the dye in there, it goes straight down. It shouldn't spread. So for this one to be spreading so much, I don't know. See up here? But I mean, you can see how juicy it is already. So that's just kind of the drawback on those. But for $1.79, it gives you a lot of bang for your buck. I just hope I always drop this one. I bump it on my little shelf and it falls, and I just am praying to God that I don't do that and it goes all over the rug. So, alright, so then I went back for the return. I found that this is another one, Basic, or what is it, Studio G. These you can't use a coupon on either anymore. It's like, you know, come on. You want us to use coupons, but then you don't let us use them. So that was $2 instead of, you know, 40% off. Okay, so then I got over to the all darn boho area. Alright, so sorry about this. So these I really want to go back and get more of these. These rung up at, I think, $1.29. $1.49. Aren't they adorable? Super cute buttons. They're really pretty. With the feathers. Little elephants. And then I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't work, I'm taking it back. Because sometimes these don't work. These little wheels. Here's the patterns. They're really pretty. And this was $2.99. You know, and then you got to think, well, is it worth the gas? Unless I'm not, if I'm over that way, that's one thing, or going over that way. All right, so then these are kind of cool. I thought this would be really cool with those ombre pads, and just do a little background. They're just all different kind of lace, doily looking stamps. And these were $3.89. So that's a good deal. And then I had to get this to try it. This is their acrylic paint, and this is $4.49. But I love these colors. They're that metallic. It's like they're, I bought the crayons too. I bought these last year and I love them. So I bought, this little set was, how much is that little set? Stamp, spring, oh, $2.39. So if you haven't tried these, they're only $2.39. Give them a try. They're beautiful. They're real metallic-y, and the colors are awesome. So I thought I would love this. So I'm going to try this with this roller stamp and see how it looks. And then maybe even these stamps, you know. So this was, what did I say? $4.49. So it's a little, you know, I mean, I like to keep things low price-wise. So then next to this whole, on this kiosk, next to all this, there's a strip of, there's a thing of metal that they hang stuff on. And on the left side, it was stamps that went with this group, I think, or a color wash. And it had a sign 70% off. This had signs 70% off. There's a different day now when they had the signs back up. And when I went to Timmery, they had the signs back up. Okay, so on this side of it, they had a sign right over all these flowers. And I thought, oh my gosh, those are really cute for 70% off. Price checked them. They came up at $3.99. And I thought, So I went back thinking, well, I'll bring them up there and watch it. And then a gal was there, and I said, you know, I told her what the deal. I said, these are ringing up at $3.99, but the sign says they're 70% off. So she ran and did something and came back. She goes, yeah, she goes, that sign's not supposed to be there. She goes, but I'll give them to you anyways. I'm like, what? I didn't say that. Was just in my head when she said that. But I'm like, oh, this is weird. So then I got to take all that back about their coupons and stuff for a minute. But so I thought that was kind of awesome. So I got this because I think it's under new management, my store, because when I was there on Sunday, like every time you go in there, there's this manager and assistant manager. They're always there. And then they had a supervisor who's almost always there, but they were kind of cutting her hours. And she's really nice. I know them all, but they will not budge on anything. Nothing. Like one time I got a owl vase and it rang up as a penny, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know. I thought it was going to be a couple bucks on clearance. So I told Bill, they were still ringing up all my crap, you know. I go, run back and get another one. So he ran back and got one. And then, by then, the gal was like calling Laura, the supervisor, saying, should this be, what, am I supposed to like let this go? And I'm like, just stop, just shut up. And Laura said, oh no. And then she yelled somebody's name. She goes, get all those clearance owls off the shelf. And she's like, well, we'll let this go, but, you know, we can't do it anymore. I'm like, whatevs. So by then, though, Bill had already put the other one up there. So we got two of them. But that's how stickler they are. They never give any deals. Where this girl is new, and she gave a deal. So anyways. Oh, so then when I get to the register, there's Laura, and I went to Laura, and I said, oh, they had, you know, this woman brought some flowers up for me that are on 70% off. And she goes, oh, and then she heard me, and she came over, and she goes, yeah, she goes, these weren't going to ring up, but go ahead and give her 70% off. And Laura's like, oh, really? And she goes, yes. And I was just like, do what she says, Laura. I'm going to get fired. But anyways, so that's kind of a weird story. So I got those gorgeous little things. And there's some that are glittery. Isn't that pretty? Sorry I kind of babble. Alright, and then these are super cute. I know I'm going to use these a lot. And they had a few of each one left, and I should have grabbed them, but I didn't. So, because I'll hoard them for a while. Probably use a couple and then hoard about 3 left or whatever. Alright, so that, ladies and gentlemen, I lied. This was from my first trip. Okay, so I got distracted and forgot to do this one, but I will do a swatch on this. It's really pretty. There's one up there we can't see. Oh, nope, it's just part of that. And this was, I think it was $4.49. So it was 70% off. So, I will swatch those out in an upcoming video. So thanks for watching, and give me a like if you like it, and leave a comment. What is your favorite thing, or what would you like to see? Do you want me to test this stuff out on, like do a video on it? These I've already done, so look up India Block Stamp. I did a video on this where I also used these last year. So these are really cool. I love these stamps. They're great for if you have a jelly print or jelly plate, but also you can stamp them using paints. Not so much stamp ink or ink stamp. They're great on cloth. I was going to use these on those muslin bags. I'm going to get some bags, and I'll do a video on that. So thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.